Today I added to SLG Green Realty. It's a skyscraper company, and I realized that it's real estate and it fits our goals of trying to have real estate exposure, just like the S&P has real estate exposure in it, but it's a small amount, so we're keeping our real estate exposure a small amount as well. But is it the highest quality company? Or is Boston Properties a better company? I'm asking. SLG has been a long time favorite of mine, and Boston Properties was a nice company too. I just never wanted to have two of a kind. But now I'm wondering if I should hedge and buy Boston Properties as a way to have a pair trade and hedge the difference. If SLG goes south, maybe Boston Properties will be the long pair trade that some hedge fund managers do, where they short the weaker one and go long the stronger one. After all, Boston Properties is in the S&P 500 and SLG is not. So here, SLG, as you can see on the chart, it's cheap. It has a 15% dividend, by the way. I should mention that right off the bat. Yes, it's cheap on its chart. It was just at 40, and now it's at 20, and it was formerly at 80 a few years back. If we look at a long-term chart, 5-year chart, it was at 80. Yeah, of course it was at 100. Forget about that. 10 years ago, it was at 140. So you could say it has upside, or you could say, yeah, these properties are being shorted, commercial real estate, because of the work from home trends accelerating because of COVID, and people just wonder if commercial real estate will ever come back. But I think New York will always be strong. And again, a 15% dividend is hard to ignore. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep this dividend and cut it, but this is hard to ignore nonetheless. So also, we have Boston Properties, BXP. It's not only located in New York City like SLG Realty, but it also has properties all over the country. So BXP, and we'll get into that in 1 second. BXP, it's also cheap on the chart. It looks pretty much identical to SLG, except the dividend is half. It's 7.5%. It's quarterly too. I like the monthly aspect of SLG's dividend. That's why I'm in SLG. I like monthly dividends to pay that, our income, and to pay off our margin more consistently. We have margin debt. I have margin debt, and I like monthly payments to come in, so I don't have to worry about the interest. So there's the chart of Boston Properties. It was just at 80 as well in February. Now it's at 40. Wow, that is amazing. 53, I'm sorry. So that I'm gonna do a little buying of that regardless if this one's the better play or not. We already bought SLG today. We have 1,000 of that, so we'll buy 1,000 more of Boston Properties, just to, like I said, hedge our bets there. Plus, I still am a little too low in real estate exposure. The S&P has a certain percentage of real estate by Boston Properties. By the way, I want you to see that this has a maintenance of 45% long. See here, 45%. So it takes up, on $1,000, it takes up 450 of equity. So, it's not bad. Most of my holdings are 30%, which take up $300 on $1,000 invested. So SLG is similar, I believe. I think it's 45%. No, SLG is 30%. I'm sorry. That's why I'm also in SLG. Well, let me get Boston Properties in the order in, and so I don't forget. And then I'm pretty certain that since I buy after hours like this, it's gonna spike in the morning and then hurt me later in the day. But we're thinking long term here. I'm thinking long term. I don't know. Boston Properties 1,000 place. I don't know if you're a trader and you're thinking short term here, and this might not be the best entry point, up 5% today. And SLG was up about 10%. So I felt bad adding to SLG today. We added a couple days ago to SLG, And so I was happy to get some of that performance back, as I dollar cost averaged the position around the low 20s. But I wanted to show you one more thing. SLG has a 15.5% dividend. Again, might not be sustainable, but it has 30% maintenance. So that's why I was more aggressive in SLG and have 1,500 in that. So I'll show you that really fast. The positions, SLG and Boston Properties. Okay, so it didn't take up too much withdrawal. 79,000 we're at, so it barely budged our withdrawal. And these are our larger positions up top. As you can see, we're in mostly index funds, so they're going to be the larger positions of, tens and $20,000 positions. As you can see, they range. At Cornerstone, we have 200,000 each in those. You should look into those and see my past videos if you're not sure about those, or if you're not unfamiliar. They pay out 20% dividends monthly. So, but here's SLG. Today was a pretty good day, as you can see, 9% for SLG, and we have 1,500 in it because it's a stock. So we don't want too much stock exposure. That could risk our margin. So we have 300 in margin. Now our margin has grown from 200. Just a month ago we were at 200 margin, but we took assignment on some of our puts and dumped the rest of our puts for some gains in order to reduce leverage and get this available for withdrawal number up. It was getting dangerously low, so I closed some of those puts, and that took that raised my equity level up about 10 to 20K. I forget specifically, and so that we did that in the mayhem of the SVB fallout. So also I wanted to show you Boston Properties. This is SLG. SLG, we look at some of their properties in New York, and they're world class. 1 Madison Avenue here. We could go through the rest of the catalog. They're iconic, properties, no doubt about it. It feels good owning things like this, just a small amount. I'm not gonna lie, it's more of a fascination, really. But that's why I keep a small amount. It's nice to know when you go to New York that you own a piece of these. Who doesn't want to say that they owns a skyscraper, a piece of a company that owns skyscrapers. So also then we go look over here at Boston Properties. This company has properties in various regions. Boston, it says down here at the bottom left, LA, New York, San Francisco. You click any one of these. I clicked the one in San Francisco just to see what it was like, and I mean, it's beautiful, world-class property there. Look at that building and look at some of these others. So these are fascinating companies, I believe, SLG and Boston Properties, and they yield attractive dividends. So who wouldn't want to own these at these prices? I don't see these going out of business anytime soon. Companies, these world class companies that we have in the S&P and things like that, they need headquarters and places to operate. So that's what we're doing. We're buying Boston Properties. You just saw that we bought 1,000, and we have 1,500 SLG. We're going to take our estimated income up a little bit, about $100 by doing this, $70 on $1,000, 7% dividend, 7 point whatever it was, so $70 to $80. Not much, but when you add it in with all of our other plays, it gets our income up to over $100,000 a year. You can see here most of the dividends come from Cornerstone, which I alluded to before, but you have all these others that pay out these pretty hefty dividends, and then there's just pages and 3 pages of these that just go on and on and on. So I try to diversify as much as I can all the streams of income that come in from these various plays, whether it be real estate or oil trusts, which I've done a video on in the past. You know, Energy Oil Trust, SJT here. I mean, it's random, but I just want to add one more thing. I bought AGNC, which you could call real estate. It has a 15% dividend as well right here. It pulled back from its highs. I think I'm going to do a specific video on AGNC, but all the mortgage REIT companies, but 15% monthly dividend. And it's had a nice pullback recently from 12 to 10, which is, 20% upside from here. And it's, consolidating there in a range. The MACD is crossing, and RSI was oversold. So anyway, those are the two plays, Boston Properties and SLG. Which one do you think is better? I'm buying both anyway. Also, there you see AGNC. Let me know what you think of that if you have the time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I need to show you one more thing. Their performance and value, just to let you know that this is not just an erratic strategy that's going all over the place with my margin. We are up year to date, and we're beating the S&P. The S&P is up 3%, and we're up 6%. We were up 30% formally. If you go to this point here where we just we're earlier a month ago, in fact, I was up 29%. So really had a nice drop there along with the market. Dropped way more than the market, but still keeping up performance with the market, and in fact beating it. And the reason why is because of the dividends. So even though my account has fallen from 430 to 330, we continue to get these dividends monthly. And that's why these funds are so highly rated on Morningstar. If you go check out my videos, I'll show you the ratings of these top holdings. And even though we're down here on unrealized gains, realize we've collected a ton of dividends over the years in these companies, and they've almost paid for themselves. If you wait 5 years in Cornerstone, 20% dividend, that's a 100% payback. Anyway, SLG 15% dividend, that means in less than 10 years it pays itself back. So you don't really care if SLG falls or Boston Properties fall, because their dividends will pay back the investment regardless, if you just wait about 10 to 15 years, which is about in line with what a real estate, a mortgage would pay you back on if you're investing in real estate, 15-year mortgage or 30-year mortgage. So except you don't have all the moving parts of real estate. And I'm actually going to make another video on why I think that these ways to invest in real estate are better than actual real estate, because you get to use your margin here. And this E-Trade gives you a credit card and a debit card you can travel the world with or do whatever you want with, using this margin, this purchasing power. And it's really just a great way of life over real estate, I believe. But anyway, I've made past videos about that. I've alluded to those benefits of a brokerage over real estate, and I'm going to make another video on that soon. But again, just wanted to compare Boston Properties, SLG, and show you AGNC as well. So let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks a lot.